Welcome to the STEM Super Scientist series.
Hi, hello, my name is Isa, and we're back talking about plant cells and their functions. And so we're going to jump right in. So unlike an animal cell, a plant cell has far more structure on the outer part where the cell wall is. So the cell wall is ultimately what maintains a plant cell's shape. And on the inside is something called the plasmodesmata, which is almost like a midway between the cell wall and the innermost layers of the cell wall. There are 4 layers in a cell wall, and each component is incredibly important. So utilizing things like models, drawings, or digital art that you find on your laptop or your computer is super important, so that way you can better understand the processes of a cell. This big space right here in the middle is a vacuole, and that is much larger than the vacuole of an animal cell because the plants require water in order to maintain their shape as well. If there is too little, it becomes turgid. If there's too much, it becomes lysine. Within the cell wall, there is a plasma membrane where all of the organelles are located. And just some of those we can talk about are the endoplasmic reticulum, which is also similar to that of an animal cell. You have a rough and a smooth. And again, the rough is what synthesizes proteins, and the smooth is what processes and maintains the production of lipids or fats. So of course we have a nucleus, and again, that is where all of the DNA is stored within the cell. They also have a nucleolus, which is responsible for the recreation of proteins. So there's something called a cytoskeleton within the plant cell wall. It is almost like a microtubule in an animal cell. Ultimately, it helps it maintain its function and its shape on the inside. We also have the Golgi apparatus, just like that of an animal cell. It's responsible for processing and breaking down proteins. And we have peroxisomes as well, which are for the exact same function. They help release waste and process the parts of a cell that are no longer needed, so they are excreted. There are also mitochondria within a plant cell, which also helps it produce ATP and synthesize energy. And we also have ribosomes, which are responsible for not only the production, but the synthesis of proteins and also energy. So we're also going to talk about the most important thing, I think, that distinguishes a plant cell from an animal cell, which is going to be the chloroplasts. So the chloroplasts are what gives typically a plant the green color, because they generate energy from sunlight and refract the green color as product almost. So within a chloroplast, there is something called thylakoids, and a stack of those are called granums. And altogether, those synthesize the energy from the sun required to produce sugars for the plant in order for it to survive. So biggest distinguishing features of a plant is it has chloroplasts. It has a central vacuole that is much larger than that of an animal cell. And last but not least, it has multiple layers of the cell wall in order to help it really maintain its structure, and also to share energy and different organelles with other cells within a plant or a larger organism. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching.
That's a wrap for today's episode of STEM Super Scientist series. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Until next time, keep learning, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next STEM Super Scientist episode.